Hey folks, it is Garrett from Garrett's Gaming, and today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video than what I normally do. Today I'm going to be doing some Bushisms. Now, anybody who is a George Bush fan, don't be offended by these. I found it funny that he actually said some of this stuff. My friend showed me this, so we're gonna go online and we're gonna look up Bushisms. Top 25 Bushisms of all time. All credit goes to this website. Well, most of it anyways. I might be taking a few more clips from some other websites. Either way, man. Wow. So this guy started gathering Bush's verbal slip-ups when they were covering his first presidential campaign. From the first one we published in Slate in October 1999, the important question is, how many hands have I shaked? Man, okay. So, Bushisms. Number one right there, our enemies are innovative, and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we. Which I think this one is really, really funny because it literally says, they never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we, implying that we are always thinking of ways to harm our country and our people. Number two, right there. I know how hard it is for you to put food on your family. Now, this one is obvious where the slip-up is, but I just think it's really funny. Put food on your family? Okay, all right. Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? Obviously, he was not learning as a child. Question number four, or Bushism number four, is kind of interesting. You can read that one on your own, but I'm not going to read it out loud. Number five, neither in French, nor in English, nor in Mexican. And that was him declining to answer reporters' questions at the Summit of the Americas in Quebec City, Canada. Okay, now this one is pretty obvious, but I'm just going to explain it quickly. He basically states three different languages, or what he thinks are three different languages. Only two of those are languages, French and English. He's saying that he will not answer their questions in French, English, or in Mexican. Now, I do not think that Mexican is a language, and neither should you, because that's bad. Now, we're on to page 2 already. 6. The sixth Bushism. You teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. That's just, kind of weird. Number 7, I'm the decider, and I decide what is best. And what's best is Don Rumsfeld to remain as the Secretary of Defense. Okay, number 8. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda. Okay, funny part of that is over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda. He is literally promoting propaganda when he says that. That's what I think is interesting. Number 9, I've heard he's been called Bush's poodle. He's bigger than that. Number 10, and so, General, I want to thank you for your service, and I appreciate the fact that you really snatched defeat out of the jaws of those who are trying to defeat us in Iraq. So, here's what's wrong with that. You really snatched defeat. The general snatched defeat out of the jaws of those who are trying to he didn't get it right. Normally, the saying goes, and you snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat. But he said, you really snatched defeat out of the jaws of those who were trying to defeat us in Iraq. So it's basically saying that he was able to earn defeat. Number 11, this is really funny. We ought to make the pie. I'm sorry. Number 11, we ought to make the pie higher. Now, this one goes without saying. He said pie in this statement. Whew. Number 12, there's an old saying. This is funny, too. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. No, that's not how it goes. I live in Texas, and no, it's really a saying pretty much everywhere. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And it's shame on me because I let you fool me twice. So no. Number 13. Oh, also, for number 12, he says, there's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee. Just want to point that out, that he said that. Number 13, and there's distrust in Washington. I'm surprised, frankly, at the amount of distrust that exists in this town. And I'm sorry it's the case. And I'll work hard to try and elevate it. Okay, you guys should get that. He's talking about the amount of distrust that exists in the town, and then he says that we should work harder, or he says that, and I'll work hard to try and elevate it. He's going to work harder to elevate the amount of distrust in Washington. Number 14. We'll let our friends be the peacekeepers, and the great country called America will be the pacemakers. Number 15. It's important for us to explain to our nation that life is important. It's not only life of babies, but it's life of children living in, the dark dungeons of the internet. Where am I right now? Apparently, I am in the dark dungeons of the internet. The life of babies? What? When did I... Okay. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. It's kind of weird. Number 16. One of the great things about books is sometimes there are some fantastic pictures. Number 17. People say, how can I help on this war against terror? How can I fight evil? You can do so by mentoring a child, by going into a shut-in's house and saying, I love you. No, don't do that. Ever. Don't ever freaking do that. Number 18. Well, I think if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, that's trustworthiness. So he thinks it's trustworthy if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Just saying. I think that really says a lot. Number 19. I'm looking forward to a good night's sleep on the soil of a friend. I think he was trying to say, I'm going to sleep in a different country. What he really stated is that he's going to sleep on somebody's poop. How many people want to sleep on somebody's poop? I think that's just weird. Number 20. I think it's really important for this great state of baseball to reach out to people of all walks of life to make sure that the sport is inclusive. The best way to do it is to convince little kids how to the beauty of playing baseball. Now this sentence, this jumble makes zero sense, but I think it's something about how beautiful baseball is. Something about that. Number 21. Families is where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream. What is that supposed to mean? Families is. Just like to point out, improper grammar. Where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream. So, some wings are going to fly down and take dream. Apparently. Number 22. When I campaigned here in 2000, I said, I want to be a war president. No president wants to be a war president, but I am one. I think that's dumb. Number 23, there's a huge trust. I see it all the time when people come up to me and say, I don't want you to let me down again. So they trust you so much that they don't want you to let them down. You break their trust by letting them down. And, okay, he has a skewed view on things. Number 24, they misunderestimated me. So it's saying they underestimated him, but they misunderestimated him. Number 25, I'll be long gone before some smart person ever figures out what happened inside this Oval Office. Oh, fudge, my pants are unzipped. Sorry. I just realized that. I'm not even on camera. Good thing, too. Sorry about that. Number 4. Oh. Yep, that's it. That's it! Maybe we should watch this. Just because it looks kind of funny.
Families is where our nation finds hope, where wings take dream. Rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? You teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. Children living in the dark dungeons of the internet. You're working hard to put food on your family. I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
It's up to her to tell you. I don't like to put words in leaders' mouths. And I don't particularly like it when people put words in my mouth either, by the way, unless I say it.
Karen is with us, a West Texas girl, just like me. It'll take time to restore chaos. Ticket counters and airplanes will fly out of Ronald Reagan Airport. I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
So I analyzed that and decided I didn't want to be the president during a depression greater than the Great Depression, or the beginning of a depression greater than the Great Depression.
Because they want the federal government controlling the Social Security like it's some kind of federal program.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, those are pretty funny. But you guys should really check out this website. You should look up Bushisms, and I just think you guys will enjoy it. This is a shout out to one of my close friends, CJ, who told me about Bushisms today, and I was laughing my head off in Quest class. So, yeah, this is Garrett from Garrett's Gaming signing off, folks. I will see you in my next video.